Hi, everyone. It looks like we have some attendees trickling in. We will get started in about 2 minutes, so please just hang tight and thank you for joining. We'll go ahead and get started in about 2 minutes. Thank you for joining. This is the Luster Career Webinar, and we look forward to discussing with you. Okay, well, it's 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, and 1 p.m. Central. I know there's a lot of different time zones. Thank you, everyone, for joining. This is the Luster Career Webinar. I believe okay, now you can see my face. While we're presenting, you won't be able to see our faces, just hear our voices. But no, there are real people behind the screen. And we're just really excited to introduce you to our firm, who we are, what we're about. And I'm Emily Lester. I'm an owner and I'm a president. And we have Brantley G, who is our environmental manager, also joining us. So we'll give about 1 more minute before we start the presentation. But just want to let everyone know that there is a Q&A box on the webinar. So please put your questions that arise throughout the presentation into the box, and we'll get to those at the end of the presentation. So just put those in as they come up, and we will touch on those at the end. And I think we should probably get started. So we'll go on to the intro. So the purpose of this webinar is just to let you all know who Luster is, what our client services are, what our sectors are, who are some of our clients and teaming partners, what are the current and completed projects that Luster has engaged in, as well as strategic consulting services, which is one of our new service lines. And then, of course, who are we looking for? What are our current job openings? And then we'll go into the Q&A. So Luster is a family-owned and minority-owned small business that was founded 33 years ago by my father with the help of my grandfather and aunt. So I am third-generation leadership, and my father, Robert, is still heavily involved in the firm, and my brother is involved as well. We're an ISO 9001:2015 certified firm, which means we really value quality inside and out. And we have a 33-year track record of a ton of different services, ranging all the way from strategic consulting and planning to stakeholder alignment and diversity and equity inclusion. We'll dive a little bit deeper into what these projects have looked like, but this is just an overview of who Luster is. And so we are nationally based. We are headquartered in Mill Valley, California, which is about 10 minutes north of San Francisco. We have an office as well in Oakland, Bakersfield, and Los Angeles. And then we have offices in Austin, Houston, Atlanta, and then New Jersey and New York. And so we typically have offices near where our projects are, and we have a lot of people within these locations, but we also have people who are fully remote. So we have some people in Oregon, we have some people in Virginia. So we're nationally based within our offices, our projects, and our people. And then this is a slide just showing who we are. So I am Emily Lester. I'm located in Mill Valley, which is our headquarters, and I work with company leadership to ensure that Lester is meeting our goals and our objectives. I love to practice yoga and hiking and exploring new restaurants. I love food, and I love spending time with my family and friends. And then I'll segue to our wonderful other presenter, Brantley, who can take it away from here.
Thanks, Emily, and thank you, everyone, for taking the time to join us this afternoon. I hope in our presentation you're able to gain a little bit more insight about what we are, who we are, and what services we provide. Just a little bit of background about myself. I do provide strategic support and environmental oversight for the GDOT Major Mobility Investment Program. It's a big project encompassing a lot of roadway projects here in the metro Atlanta area. But we do also have some other projects in remote areas of the state, but it's all to promote and boost our infrastructure here in the state of Georgia. I enjoy a lot of time spending outdoors, hunting, fishing, playing golf, any combination. I also enjoy watching college football, most importantly, my Georgia Bulldogs, and spending time with family. I do want to talk a little bit about Luster's mission, and really we take pride in what we do. We provide superior professional services to a vast different array of regional sector clients and governmental agencies. And by doing this, we serve as an internal advocate or an owner's representative for these clients. And we can perform various professional services that we'll get into more. And we provide those initiative, sustainable courses of action to help meet our clients' needs and their requirements. And the way that we do that is we assess the values. So in order to assess our values, we take, as Emily expressed before, we look at how we've been so successful over 33 years being in business. And we're able to be so successful because we put our clients first. We have a very strong client focus, and we value integrity. And so we bring honesty, honor, dependability, and trustworthiness to clients. That's something that we pride ourselves on. And also our actions impact everyone we work with. And we develop those lasting relationships with our clients, hence our track record for 33 years. And so how do we maintain those relationships? Well, it's through our vision. And it's very important to understand our motto. As you saw on an earlier slide, we do have challenges, but we provide solutions. And it defines who we are, what we do, and how we do it. And so we continuously strive to be one of the most sought after professional services, specializing in strategic planning and program, project construction, and facility management. So again, as Emily mentioned, we are a small family-owned business, but I would say compared to other larger firms, having worked for other bigger firms, that these compensations are very competitive and they're also very generous. We do have a 401k plan matching the 3% with medical, dental, and vision, with long-term disability, an FSA, paid time off. We do have sick pay and 10 paid holidays. But one thing I do want to touch on, again, is a little different, but also very beneficial to our employees, is we do have a registered dietitian who helps every Luster employee provide a wellness program that is very specific. Now, when I don't eat right and I reach out to our dietitian, she lets me know, but also she provides that personal relationship. And so that is something that Luster prides itself in being, again, that family-owned business, to treat all of our Luster employees like family. And so just want to talk a little bit about our service sectors. We'll touch a little bit on our main three, but as you can see here, there are 9 different service sectors that we specialize in. Aviation, through working with the JFK Airport and working in the San Francisco Oakland Airport. We have had staff that have been fully integrated with the city of San Francisco. that we provided services on their $2.4 billion mass plan program for the airport, where we were actually program management and construction management during the construction phase of that project. And we also held the tenured positions at Hartsfield International Airport here in Atlanta, servicing that project management and construction management role as well. Looking at the transit and rail, and part of the high-speed rail project that's going on out in California, and looking at the MMIP here in Georgia, we're very active in program management and utilizing both of those, the MMIP program and the high-speed rail, to advocate and to allow us to use our specialties in those sectors. And then I do want to also touch on our roads and bridges. We are currently supplying construction, engineering, and inspection, which is CEI services, on multiple road and bridges projects throughout the state of Georgia. Luster, as we'll touch on a little bit later in this presentation, we are in all but one district in the state of Georgia. So we accompany a lot of different areas of the state of Georgia, but we pride ourselves for being top-notch in the road and bridges sector. But as you can see, and the point that I really want to get across today is that we're very transportation focused for 2024. And with that, I'll kind of turn it back over to Emily to touch on some more and where we're heading in 2024.
Thank you, Brantley. And so this slide is just a snapshot of who we've worked with and who we work with. So these are both clients and teaming partners. So typically, as a small DBE firm, we are a sub to these big infrastructure companies such as Fluor, Hill, WSP, AECOM. Sometimes we are part of a joint venture with them, or sometimes we're also the prime and they're the sub. We also work with a broad array of clients. You can see we have private sector like Google. We have public agencies like the California High-Speed Rail Authority, New Jersey Transit. And so we have a very diverse book of clients and teaming partners, which has been great for Luster to just learn and grow. And I think we can show you some of our projects that we've completed that kind of speak to the variety that Luster has. So I won't touch on all of these. And this is just, once again, another snapshot of some projects Luster has completed. I'll start to touch on the NASA Johnson Space Control Center. That was in Texas. So that was a center for facilities modernization program, and Luster worked there for 8 years, mainly on construction management responsibilities. And then if you go down to the AC Transit Bus Rapid Transit project, that's in downtown Oakland, California, and Luster led the community outreach and public engagement consultant team. So 2 big projects, 2 very different clients, and 2 very different services that we provided, just showing kind of how widespread Luster can be. And then Brantley already touched on the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, but I do just want to point out this one. Luster was actually a joint venture partner on the 16-year, $6.8 billion expansion program. And Luster's staff included project and construction managers, procurement specialists, cost estimators, and so on. So we've had a lot of great opportunities and projects completed. And that kind of goes into our current projects. We have a lot of very exciting and diverse projects that we're currently working on. Brantley touched on the high-speed rail. This is one that really excites me because, being from California, it's always a struggle to get to LA. It should be faster. I know we've been talking about this project for years and years, and now it's finally actually happening. So on the high-speed rail, Luster is a sub to the AECOM Fluor joint venture program for the program delivery services contract. And Luster services on this program range from senior schedulers to strategic consulting. We have people located in Fresno, Sacramento, and fully remote. And I know Brantley talked about the GDOT MMIP, which is the Major Mobility Investment Program in Georgia. This is one of Luster's biggest projects. We have 18 different Luster staff on there working on procurement, document control, and program management. And it's been a great, great project. You'll also see on the bottom left and the bottom right, we work directly with public agencies sometimes. So here, right now, we're working with the Alameda County Public Works on their business and community outreach. And then we work with MARTA, which is based in Atlanta, providing DBE compliance and diversity consulting. So there's a lot of stuff happening. And one of the things that Lester has been working on is actually building out our service line for strategic consulting. So this really depends on our clients' needs, but this slide just shows you a few examples of some strategic consulting services we have provided. So we worked with High Speed Rail on a gap analysis on the quality and on the budget. With the Delta Conveyance Authority, which is located in California, it's a huge water project. We did some transitioning, gap analysis, and program implementation planning. But this is something that Lester is really looking to build up in 2024. So keep an eye out for Lester within more of the consulting services. And then I think with that, Brantley, we have a lot of exciting wins that we can touch on, then we can really go into job openings. So I'll turn it back over to Brantley.
That's right. And, earlier I spoke about our relationships with clients. And so I think it's important to make you aware of our recent wins, as Emily was saying. And I won't go through every single one of these, but these are our major wins that we wanted to at least bring up here in 2023. I'll touch a little bit on the General Services Administration blanket purchase agreement, and this has been nationwide. And we serve as a prime and a sub on both of these contracts, but it's primarily to highlight that we are working with the feds and it being a federal contract. And so we're helping to develop that, construction management service, the program and the project management services for this, as well as building and lease inspection service for all 4 zones, which are the 4 regions that encompass this project, all across the United States. Looking at long-term government-wide contracts, providing federal, state, and local government buyers access to services such as the one that we will be providing. So we have a lot of facility coordination assessments, and we also won the small business BPA and are also sub to AECOM's prime contract, as I mentioned before. So we have multiple contract wins. Another thing I do want to point out too that I mentioned before is the GDOT District 2 through 7 Design Build CEI. So GDOT has 7 districts across the state, and the only one that Lester is not a part of currently is District 1, which is in Northeast Georgia. But we're currently all throughout the state of Georgia providing services to GDOT, building those relations, and one day hope to be throughout all the state, including District 1. We also have the Transportation Data Support Services contract with GDOT and the Broadband CEI statewide. So what and who are we looking for? Well, mainly we are looking for highly motivated professionals who are looking to make an impact in their work environment and who exhibit professional integrity. And we see these are typically high achievers who aspire to have new heights, who are entrepreneurs, who venture beyond the safety of the known, the goal setters, the hard workers, the big thinkers, and the self-starters. So we ask, our people and our employees to say, why not? Why can't this be done? So to think outside the box and to be good at what you do and to work hard and steadfast and diligent and be determined to get the job done. So with that being said, I do want to mention the job openings that we currently have, and also just point out that we often have positions that open up on a short-term notice or a short notice due to our clients. We do have a lot, but a lot of times we can't get them published on our website as soon as we would like. So it's important to stay engaged with us. But most of these, as I'll go through in our different regions, can be found on our website. But we would like to keep up with you and at least interact with you. So please email us your resume if you are at all interested in joining our team. And also keep in mind that we do have the 2024 summer internships that are upcoming and will be available in 2024. Also keep up with our most up-to-date information. Follow us on LinkedIn and Indeed and our website for a more up-to-date job listing. Our current job openings in the West region, particularly looking in California, deal with a high-speed rail. We are looking for a client service leader and an environmental specialist, as well as a senior scheduler out pertaining to the California high-speed rail project. We are looking for another project manager in the Fresno area, as well as a quality manager, a team builder in Sacramento, and a HR specialist in our Mill Valley location. But we just want to highlight that HR specialist is also a remote position. Looking at our Northeast region in New York, we're looking for a commercial manager, a document control lead, and a scheduler. And then bringing it down to the Southeast region here in Georgia, we're looking for a quality specialist, a construction manager, CEI personnel, and this is at various locations statewide. As I mentioned, our CEI is through districts 2 through 7. The NEPA specialist, an ecologist, an air and noise specialist, a cost analysis, procurement specialist, marketing professional, and we're always looking for project engineers or engineers in training. And with that being said, I do want to open it up for questions at this time. And so we'll be happy to take those and answer them the best possible.
Thank you, Brantley. And the question that just popped on my screen was about our social responsibility value and how Luster is active in the communities where you are. And so Luster, we try to give back through our internship program. We try to engage in underrepresented communities and students that are typically in minority or disadvantaged communities. We also provide scholarships, for instance, for the COMTO, which is a Conference of Minority in Transportation. Luster gave a sponsorship to a minority student working at San Jose State. So we provided him with scholarship funds so that he can continue to pursue his education in transportation. And we also have an active foundation that we try to donate to the communities we're engaged in. So that's in Atlanta, we do some work with the Nicholas House. And we are always looking to engage more with the communities we're in. So if people have recommendations, we are very open, but typically through internships and hiring around. And we also are doing more work with workforce development and public and community outreach. And then Brantley, if you want to take, I think there's some other questions.
Sure, yeah. Another question that we have here is, what sectors are you looking to grow other than transportation, looking into federal government or water, wastewater? I think that's a great question, and Emily can expand on a little bit more than me. But I think that, the more sectors that we get into, I think there's more opportunities. So we are looking to expand into those. As far as water, wastewater, we are looking at trying to expand our environmental section to be able to offer more needs, I think, and looking at different environmental sectors. So water and wastewater are definitely one of those sectors. Emily, I don't know, you want to touch on?
So federal government, as Brantley talked about, that's something we're really looking into, especially with the GSA BPA. That's going to open up a lot. We are also trying to win some FEMA contracts. So emergency management services, we have done work in the past with FEMA. And so we're trying to bring that back into Luster next year. But transportation really is our bread and butter, and it's what we're really good at and what we know. So rail, transit, and aviation. And then with that, strategic consulting, public and community outreach, document control, all those fall within the transportation sector. And then I want to touch more on the wellness program. That was a question. So the wellness program, it varies based off of the quarter or based off of the year. But typically, I think the bottom line is that a registered dietitian, certified health coach can sit down with you personally and come up with a personalized plan based on your needs and your goals, ranging from physical activity to diet to mental health. But we also do have some incentive programs that will be based around bone health, heart health, eating less processed foods. And if you engage and participate in some of our presentations that our health coach will put on, and you walk 10,000 steps in a week and you do high intensity training, there's different buckets you can kind of check, then you'll be given a certain number or certain amount of money that you can then expense to go to a gym membership or getting a new yoga mat. So we're just really trying to incentivize the Luster team members to be healthy, both mind and body, because when you're healthy and you feel good, you work well and you're happier. So that's definitely a big focus of ours. And then Brantley, if you want to.
Sure. Yeah. Another question was just related to details about what the company is doing to work on projects that are energy saving, working on policies to save energy, as well as what projects are we working on that are environmental focused during infrastructure development. So part of what I do is I'm a strategic consultant for GDOT, and we look at, post-construction projects, and we look at active construction projects and the implementation of the Clean Water Act during these construction projects to ensure that our environmentally sensitive areas are not impacted by any sort of, sedimentation runoff or these different pollutants that may enter into our waterways from the motorists and traveling public. And so we assess these projects, we assess each environmental commitment and make sure that the contractor is aware of those commitments and make sure that they uphold the permit and the laws in the state of Georgia that pertain to infrastructure projects. I think we may have one or two more, Emily.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you. Someone loved the presentation. And they also are asking about, similar to the question on sector expansion, where do you see Luster having the most impact in coming years? Well, I think we'll hopefully have an impact on all the projects that we're working on and that are coming up, depending on what we're hired for. But I think Luster is really trying to make a push on the public and community outreach and workforce development, both within Luster and then on the projects that we're engaging in. So we want to make sure that the communities we're working in feel empowered and they have a seat at the table. So whether that's through our DBE compliance and consulting on MARTA, whether it's our community and public outreach with Alameda Public County, we just want to be very aware of our social impact and also our green footprint. So I think Brantley touched on that with the former question. And also just really looking at quality, both high quality people, high quality work. So thank you. And then the wellness program, thank you. It is awesome. And so this person is asking about how the wellness program accommodates and works with individuals with disabilities, and are there any drawbacks for not participating? So for the first part of that question, because it is fully personalized, you will have a personalized plan based off of what you can do and what you can engage in. And then in regards to the incentive program, that's more company-wide. There's aspects of that are accessible to all people, and you don't have to hit every single category to be able to receive the prize. It can be one person can decide to go on a run, but the other person can take out meat on Mondays and it's still the same. So we try to make sure that's a broad enough spectrum where everyone feels like they can engage. And there's no drawbacks for not participating. It's completely voluntary. And it's just that if people are interested, they can engage. And if not, no worries. And no one will ever know if you engaged or didn't participate. So it's not supposed to be a publicized thing. It's more supposed to be fun and for yourself. And I think we might have hit all of the questions. If anyone has anything else, we'll stay on so you can put it into the chat. But we appreciate you joining. It's been a great open house. Luster has a lot of really exciting opportunities and job openings, and we're looking forward to continuing the discussion with some of you all about future work at Luster. Brantley, do you want to add anything?
No, again, just want to thank everybody for taking the time to hop on the call today, and feel free to reach out to us. Obviously, would love to interact with all of you to be engaged, to find out what you're interested in. Please send us an email just letting us know that you were here, and look forward to hearing from you all and wish you all the best heading into 2024.
Oh, I see we just got some questions. So about the benefits, yes, it's all optional to opt in or opt out of benefits. And then in regards to, the other question is D3 with GDOT. Our major construction projects are bringing our areas issue with unhoused individuals. Does Leicester have interest in assisting unhoused individuals in the areas where it's operating? So that is something that Leicester has not looked into before. We have donated to the Nicholas House, which is a homeless shelter in Atlanta. But this is something that I'm going to take note of. And if you want to email me offline, we can talk about this. I think I need a little bit more information to answer accordingly. So I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. Brantley, anything?
No, I think we've answered most of the questions. No, I don't see any new ones that are popping up. But again, I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody for joining us today. It's been a pleasure being with you. Hope you've found it very informative and have been able to take something away.
Oh, there's one more question. Thank you. The questions are great. We want them to keep coming in. So this question is, do you have any way to help me with my financial budgeting and future retirement? So that's a great question. Brantley touched on this in the benefits with the 401k. So we do have 401k and we do a 3% match. And then Leicester also has a wealth management advisor that we provide to our team members at Morgan Stanley, who can talk to you about your personal financial goals, not just about work, but about your own personal goals and help you with your finances and budgeting and investment. So Leicester does have that as part of our benefits as well.
It looks like here that a lot of these questions were answered. So again, appreciate everybody's participation and asking questions. But as Emily said before, we will sit back and answer any last minute questions that you all may have.
And then Brantley, could you go back to the screen page so people can see our emails just in our phone numbers? So if any questions come to you later or you want to talk to either of us offline, please feel free to email us or give us a phone call and we will be available. But thank you all for joining. I know you have busy days, so we appreciate your time to come learn about Leicester, and we look forward to learning about you.
Thank you, everyone. We greatly appreciate your participation today.